Hello, Grand Rapids. I'm City Manager Mark Washington. I am here at 201 Market in our Public Works yard, and this is where a lot of our valuable employees help us to perform road maintenance and street repairs. And joining me is Public Works Manager Bob SWAIN. Welcome, Bob.
Thanks for having me here.
Now tell me what your employees typically do during the summer and the fall and the spring.
Public Works does a variety of tasks all throughout the year. Such as street sweeping, filling in potholes. We support the Vital Streets Initiative with a lot of paving work. We help with the yard waste collection. It's just, we do whatever needs to get the job done.
But the reason why we're standing here today is because something changes in the winter. And tell us about what happens with the conversion of your driver assignments during the winter as compared to the other parts of the year.
Well, definitely in wintertime we move into our winter operations with our job of keeping the streets clear of snow and ice.
And it is so valuable because we could not have good passage and roadway access without your employees. And this is the kind of job you can't just schedule 8 to 5. How do you maintain this kind of operation 24/7?
We have committed employees, like you said. They will be here working around the clock in 12-hour shifts, going back and forth on the routes and keeping everything clean.
And we do this with about how many drivers?
Right now we have approximately 48 drivers.
48 drivers?
Yes.
Well, let's take a closer look at the truck and perhaps talk to one of our drivers. Well, I'm here now with John Norman. He's one of our seasoned drivers. He has been with the city for how long now?
27 years.
27 years, and has been doing a great job. And we're here in front of his mobile office. And the reason why I say mobile office, this is one of the trucks that he's been assigned. It has about how many miles on it?
About 30,000 miles right now.
30,000 miles. And you spend how much time of the day in your shift in this truck?
In a 12-hour shift, at least 10 hours, if not more.
And this is while driving in winter operations. And tell us a little bit about the truck. There are several blades on the truck that helps to make sure that we collect the snow and push the snow appropriately.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about your plowing efforts?
Well, the one blade that we do not have on is the front blade, which that usually comes on when it's really heavy snow and we have to push the banks back. The underbelly blade is underneath the truck. That's our main primary scraping blade. We're usually using that quite a bit on first attentions and in plow routes. The wing on the side of the truck, the extension of the truck, is just there pretty much to help us. We need more room on the road so we can actually plow more faster.
I see. Now tell us, there's some technology on the wing there with the guidance there. Tell us a little bit about the laser.
Well, the laser's up on top of the truck. When we're out plowing and we do have the wing down, the laser shoots out about 200 feet out in front of us. It tells us exactly where the wing is at when the wing is down on the ground. So if I see an obstacle in the road, I can lift my wing, go around that obstacle, and then drop it back down and help us in our snow removal.
Well, let's look a little bit at the back of the truck and how some of the materials are managed through the truck. Now we're in the back of the truck now where we have the bed and the tanks and the spreader. And why don't you tell us a little bit about how all this works in conjunction?
First of all, we have a calcium chloride tank on the side of the truck. What that does is it shoots spray down into the spreader bed itself here, creates a bond between the salt, and it drops onto the road. It helps prevent the bounce and scatter of our salt. It actually helps solidify the street, and it actually activates a lot quicker for the roads, and it helps melt the ice quicker.
Now that material is, there's organic composition in the material, and this is eco-friendly.
It is eco-friendly, yes it is.
And tell us a little bit about some of the materials and how it's loaded up in the bed.
We load our salt with a big loader. It holds, I believe, 5 yards of salt. It comes out on a conveyor. It's controlled inside by dials. I can control the speed, and the spinner that's underneath the chute, I can control how far I shoot the salt out on both sides of the truck. Well,
you guys make it look so simple when you're doing it, but I know that that's what professionals do. You make it look easier than what it is. Very complicated, but I appreciate the work that you do. Our residents appreciate the work, and thank you for all that you do.
We thank you.
As we start this new year, Happy New Year to everyone. We have a lot of important things happening around our city. One of the most important things is the hiring of our police chief. This past week, the finalists were announced. There are 3 finalists that will be meeting with the community on January the 19th from 6:30 to 8:30. The meeting will be in the City Commission chambers. You can attend in person, you can attend virtually, watch it on Facebook or YouTube. You can also submit questions in advance if you're unable to attend, or you can call in and dial 311 and ask your questions. There'll be Spanish interpretation services available. We want you to interact with the candidates. We want you to hear about their backgrounds, and we want them to hear the concerns from our residents. So please do call in. There'll be an opportunity to have additional feedback after the forum, and I will be evaluating all the feedback, incorporating it into my decision-making process. I'll hear from members from the community, members of the department, and other stakeholders, particularly from law enforcement and other agencies, about their feedback as well, and that will result in the final decision for our next police chief. I do want to thank Police Chief Chief Payne for his years of service to our community. And it is much appreciated. He's led us through some very challenging times, but I do feel that we are well positioned to move forward with the good things that he's established. Our next chief will be able to build upon it. Also, at the last City Commission meeting, I shared one significant highlight that shows potential for economic recovery. In 2021, there was $443 million in construction activity. That was our third best year in the past 20 years. So that's a real good indication that our economy is becoming stronger. However, we are concerned about the rise in the number of infections with the Omicron variant. And so I do want to continue to caution everyone to make sure they wear masks where appropriate, maintain social distance, and if you can, please get vaccinated and get boosted. That is one of the best preventative measures the science has shown to ensure that people who are infected do not get seriously ill. We also talked about some of the other things that happened in 2021. 658 housing units were built. Of that number, almost half, about 290 of that number was low-income housing that was developed, and so we're making progress because we know that we have a need, a demand for housing supply in our city, and we continue to do that. The Housing Fund is going to help to create more housing opportunities, and so we look forward to the establishment of that board as they're seated. Appointments are to be announced pretty soon. The City Commission also had a public hearing on about $4.6 million of federal HUD funding through the HOME program that will allow for assistance for homeless community and members and family of the unhoused community to assist them during this time. We also were able to extend and open the winter shelter operations to provide additional coverage for those who need more social distance, and that is open on Division Avenue. I want to thank our Community Development Department, our partners with Mel Trotter and other agencies of the county in helping us open that operation. And there was also a approval by the City Commission to support a $1.7 million application for water assistance for the state, to help homeowners and households pay for their water utility bill assistance, and that will be in partnership with the county for all area residents who are members of our water utility. In closing, I want to wish everyone a happy MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, as we reflect on his life and his legacy and the things that he stood for in promoting equality, equity, diversity, and inclusion, as we continue to aspire to make our community a more equitable place to live. I want to encourage you to attend one of the events to commemorate his life, but also to do things in service in honor of his legacy. We'll see you next month.